And so guys, here we are, Project Zero with our Lesson Zero, just to make a general overview on how Blackmagic Davinci Resolve shows up, how it's made, and all the little part that we have inside this incredible software. So initially this program started as a color grading program, and it mainly was a color grading program, but right now I think that this guy is the king of all the software, all the editing software, all the color grading software. And I can assure you that after this masterclass, you'll be able to edit, color grade, do your audio mix, and everything you want, and deliver your project just inside one piece of software. So when you start Davinci Resolve, when you launch your first project, you will have this empty page with nothing to inspect, no clips in media pool. It's pretty scary, as every program the first time you launch it, but I'm gonna show you all these pages right now. So the media page is basically the page where you want to import your folder, so you have all your folders from your Mac, and if you click in there, everything is gonna show up, and you can just click and drag your medias right there. We're gonna do that on another lesson, obviously, and you're gonna create folders that are called bin, all your bins there, and you want to organize everything there. You can watch the audio, the metadata. You can also, capture footage from the video capture or a film scanner if you want. We're not gonna talk about that. Obviously, it's another specific thing. But yeah, here in this media page, you want to organize all your folders and all your footage. Then we have the cut page. I don't want to talk about this a lot because this page is the rough version of the edit page. It's made for journalists, it's made for people who have to do rough cuts. We don't even have time to make a proper color grade, so I don't even know why this this guy is here. But by the way, passing to the edit page is the page where you want to create your timelines, when you want to edit your footage, obviously. The great thing about all these different pages is that you can customize the layout, obviously from workspace, but first of all from this little toggle right there. If you maybe already import all your footage and you don't need the media storage folder anymore, you can declick this and just focus on all the clips that I'm gonna show there. Or you don't need to see the metadata, you don't need to see everything else. You have everything you need right there. Same thing in the edit page. Maybe you've done everything with your media pool, you're already in the final timeline, you don't want that, you can check that. You don't need effects, you can decheck that. Edit index, sound library, and that's a great thing. By the way, we're gonna talk about this on the Fairlight section in a few seconds. But the great thing about that, if you have a folder, they called it library, but these are basically folders. If you have a folder with, I don't know, all your audio effects, sound design, atmospheres, ambience, all your sounds, you can just press add library. You can just tell to the program where you placed all your audio folders and just type the name there. It will show up there, and you can just drag it into your project, and there you go. Pretty straightforward. Then we have the mixer for the audio if you want to make a rough mix there, but there's a dedicated tool obviously on Fairlight. Metadata if you want to see the metadata of the footage you're on. An inspector, obviously, that is like the control effects on Premiere, where you want to adjust your frame, zoom in, or tilt up, tilt down, all those things. And yeah, that's it. Really customizable. As you can see, we can do whatever we want there. Maybe you don't want to see all the bins, you want to see just the footage. Yeah, lots of great thing. You have the tool to organize your folders for real name, clip name, or everything you want. You can decide to show them on the previous method or just with the details. And yeah, everything is there, pretty basic. We want to also talk about this little guy will show you up on the color panel and on the edit panel. It's about bypassing the color grade phase. Maybe you have a really heavy and intense color grade, you can check and decheck this. And yeah, that's it about the edit page. We're gonna talk about this in another lesson. Then you have Fusion. I want to totally bypass this because it's all about VFX, and it will be like talking about After Effects. So it's like an implemented piece of software inside Davinci Resolve, and it's a prettier thing. And I want to tell you that about Fusion and Fairlight, we're gonna have 2 different masterclasses just dedicated to this, because I'm being honest, it will be great even to have a dedicated masterclass to the editing room, because obviously it's really basic on the tools, but to master it, you need to know few really in-depth things that we don't have the time to cover, obviously, on this masterclass. And also from Fusion and Fairlight, these are like 2 parallel words that works in there. So Fusion, it's about VFX, it's about compositing, it's about everything that is like working with a 3D or 2D workspace with your image. So it will be like having whole another book of acknowledgement. And the great color page in there, we're gonna make some magic. This is the biggest part of the project, of the program, sorry. Davinci Resolve start all with this panel. You have the scopes, you have everything you need there to color grade. You have your effects library, a really cool effects library. There are few effects that really on the value of the $300 software that you are using, and I mean it. You have the nodes if you don't want to watch them. You have the clips. All the clips from the timeline will show there. And about clips, we're gonna talk about all different ways to organize clips. You can work just with flat clips, mark clip, or just with groups. And the groups are great. Maybe you are color grading footage from 3 different interiors, and you want to group the interiors with 3 different names, and you can use this. That's great. You have obviously the display of the clips, and there you have the bypass color grade as said. Yeah, that's great. Maybe if you just have to toggle something, if you want to see the before and after. By the way, it's Command D for Mac and Control D on Windows to deselect this, the WAN and all those things. I'm gonna talk about this on another lesson, obviously. You can also see the timeline above the clips, your media pool if you need it, your LUTs, and your gallery if you have stills. So I'm gonna talk about this too. Then the Fairlight section, it's a really great section. Everything on your audio tracks right there will show up there. This is great because it's like having a pro audio mixing program inside Davinci Resolve. I just love it. You have your sound library, as said, FX library in the media pool, same thing, and it's like having a parallel program inside Davinci Resolve. I totally love it. Being serious, being sincere, I'm not using it a lot because I work with professionals that are audio engineers, so I'm not using this a lot, but all those times that they pass me a timeline or something that I have to adjust it professionally, I can do it right there. So this is a really great piece of software. And then the Deliver tab, you have everything you need in there. Sometime with Premiere, I used to bounce between Premiere and Adobe Media Encoder, and right there you have everything you need in there. You can also connect your YouTube, Vimeo accounts. You can make ProRes Master. You have all these presets here. You can create your custom presets and save it. You can create an MF image. You can create a Final Cut Pro, Premiere export, an Avid export, a Pro Tools export. So if you work with professionals that use this piece of software, you can just export it. And these are the render settings. You also have the tape settings if you want to obviously tape it, but it's not the case in this masterclass. And then you have the add render queue button. So you're seeing the timeline, you are like, okay, I want to export video, audio, or just individual clips, renaming them, and you can render it to queue and start the render. So you'll have all your jobs here and just start your render. So this is a general overview of Davinci Resolve. We're gonna talk about everything on all this lesson. During this masterclass, you'll be able to manage this incredible piece of software and, you know, go there, edit your stuff, color grading it, mixing it, and then deliver it just in one software. So see you in the next lesson.